What is up, Gamer Army? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Psycho Gamer. I'm your host, Aubrey, as always, and today we have a lot of stuff to really go over. What kind of stuff we're going to be going over? We're really going to be talking about Arcade1up. John D has appeared, and he's given a little information on a couple games that, well, they were made, but we're probably never going to see. We're going to talk about Def Jam Fight for New York. We're going to talk about Champion Pac-Man, and we're also going to talk about some other games that have actually been announced, but in a most recent video from CNET, a couple prototypes have actually come up to where we can actually take a look at something that's not going to come out, but could have been. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe, guys. Turn on those post notifications, and stay tuned. We're going to talk about all this fun stuff right after this. All right, welcome back once again, guys. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of information we're going to go over today in a short amount of time. Some of it I think you're really going to like. Some of it you're going to be like, ugh, what is going on? So first thing that's going on is the Simpsons arcade pre-order has gone live in multiple locations. However, there's two different price points. I'm not sure what's going on with that. So we're going to switch over into the computer. We're going to take a look at what we're talking about here. All right, here we are. We are on the Simpsons arcade machine pre-order for Arcade1up. Now, they have it in multiple areas. Multiple places are going to be hosting it. And one other plus side is that according to the video released by CNET, as well as the actual website by Arcade1up, Simpsons Bowling has now officially been announced for this particular cabinet. We already knew it was coming. I guess it just had to do with the licensing thing. They didn't want to jump the gun too much, but they pretty much already had when they actually had the trackball already in the actual cabinet that everybody could look at. So who's going to be doing pre-orders other than them, obviously? You got Best Buy, you got Target, GameStop, Walmart, and the Brick Canada. Now, what is the price for this? $699.99. Release date is kind of all over the place when it comes to each of these actual companies. This is saying November 30th. You go to Best Buy, it is saying ships by release day. Does it give you an actual release date? No, it really doesn't. At least on this side. We go to this side over to the left. It says the 30th as well. So we're expecting it by the end of November. This particular website, though, which is Walmart.com, has it for $529. Why do they have it for $529? A lot of you are going to be asking. Well, there's no stool. No stool, no stool, no stool. This is just the actual cabinet. Now, my question is why are these $170 more to add a stool on? That it just boggles my mind. $599. I could see $599 when you actually compare it to this price at Walmart. Nobody in their right mind, other than Grandma and Grandpa, and somebody who really, really wants the game, are going to pay $699 just to buy an extra stool. They'll buy it at this price right here. I'm sure most of you guys will buy it at this price, and you will buy that stool separately, or you will buy a different stool and just put a wrap over it and just be done and call it a wrap. All right. That's a very bad joke. I'm sorry. I should be ashamed of myself, but I'm really not. So there was a video released by CNET talking about the Simpsons arcade, but they're also talking about some of these other cabinets that are out there. A lady named Bridget Carey is going to be visiting the Arcade1up headquarters. I will post this video down below if you guys have not seen it yet. But some of the things that they actually showed off were some prototypes. So if you look right here, you see you have that Killer Instinct prototype there. So you can tell it's got Killer Instinct all along the sides there. It doesn't look very flattering. It looks very, very generic, I guess you could say. But when you compare it to the actual cabinet on their website there, it's missing a few things. So it's not looking quite like this. It could go either way. I think this one would be okay, but if you notice on this one, though, it looks like the screen is a lot bigger than what you're looking at right here. So your standard size screen is 17 inches. That definitely does not look like a 17-inch screen. That looks like it could be a 19 or even a 20-inch screen. So is it possible they are toying with the idea of releasing cabinets with bigger screens? Because realistically, that's what people are wanting. Something with a bigger screen, so you're not really playing elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder when it comes to these two-player games. People want to have more room. They just don't have much room. Another one you're looking at, you have Dragon's Lair right here. As far as we can tell, these are going to be concepts. Again, you got the flames there. You have the red trim all the way around it as well. You have the 3 games on the front right, the Dragon's Lair, Space Ace, and Dragon's Lair 2. Instead of the coin slot, basically. If you look at the actual angle of the screen and you look at the actual control deck, there's none of that little stuff up here to add that cell phone like what they're showing right here. So no speaker. You notice this actually is a lot prettier and a lot nicer looking than what you're looking at over here. So I think if they kind of merge some of these things, like say they add some of the red trim and some of the red flames on there, I think it might make this not look so plain right around the screen. But I do like this control deck quite a bit more, and it has more of an angle than what we're looking at right here. This just kind of, I don't know. It looks like it could be cool, but it's not. Now, the last thing that we are going to talk about right here is something that actually kind of piqued a lot of people's interest when it came to one of the shots. What is that? Def Jam, Fight for New York, and Champion Pac-Man. Now, this right here, this picture, brought John D. out of retirement, I guess you could say, to clear a couple things up when it came to this. So this particular cabinet, apparently there was only 4 of these cabinets made for the 35th anniversary for Def Jam. They were made specifically for Def Jam. I guess they ended up keeping one of them, obviously. Now, this wasn't running their typical system in terms of like a Raspberry Pi or anything like that. What they ended up doing is apparently they modded a PlayStation 2 to actually work in this particular system right here. They took a controller and then they mapped or wired everything that would be a controller right to the actual control deck. So it is kind of a cool looking thing. It is a concept. Unfortunately, we'll probably never see it, even though a lot of people are wanting to see something like this. Now, I think maybe because of him coming out and talking to this, maybe there's a possibility that he's realizing it's piquing people's interest that, hey, this could be something. Now, this Champion Pac-Man, I'm pretty certain this is just a Pac-Man made for the company Champion that does like the shoes and jerseys and things like that as well in the clothing line. So you can actually see the Champion logo right there in between Pac-Man and one of the ghosts. So now just so you guys can see some of this information playing out, because I did ask him a few questions last night on the official Arcade1up global fan page here. He said it was a 35th anniversary collab that we did as a collab for him. And I asked if it was for Def Jam, and he pretty much said it was made specifically for Def Jam. So I did ask if it was possible that it might come out. And he kind of laughed and joked, and it's probably not going to come out. But somebody else asked about this particular thing, and he said, we made about 4 of these, modded with a PlayStation 2 inside, and the joystick and buttons map the controller. This was showcased at their 35th anniversary in Williamsburg a couple years ago, where Fabulous and Jadakiss performed. If you guys can find any pictures or any links about that, because I haven't found anything specifically, maybe you might be able to see a little peek of it at one of these, at this particular event that he's actually talking about. So it is kind of cool that they've actually released something specifically for some of these companies, even though we kind of knew that they've been doing it. So on top of that, though, I mean, that's pretty much it for today, guys. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to see a Def Jam Fight for New York game be released? I think it would be pretty awesome to actually see this particular cabinet released. Seeing a champion-themed Pac-Man, that could be kind of interesting too. But do we really want to see another Pac-Man on the market? What do you guys think of the information for The Simpsons? Would you buy it without the stool, or would you want to pay an extra $170 just to buy the stool? It is the exact same thing other than that. Myself, unfortunately, I would be going over to Walmart to buy this. Do I need the stool? It would be nice to have the stool. I will just buy a separate one. But hopefully you guys liked the video. You got some good takeaways from it. Saw a couple really cool concept pictures from Killer Instinct and Dragon's Lair. But if you did like it all, though, make sure you smash that like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications, guys. It really does help me out, and it does show me that you guys are liking the content and appreciating the stuff that I'm putting out there. So until next time, guys, game on.